I don't think I have anything positive to say about this update besides the fact that it honestly got everybody hyped. There's some new stuff in the game, and I feel like the only real good thing about this update. But I think everything else, I feel like I can criticize, because it's like the update pretty much came out and they fixed bugs, but then they end up making more bugs in the process. And then one of the main bugs that was fixed, I think, is just the mantling, right? Like the mantling doesn't stagger you in the air for a bunch of minutes after you get done. Like it doesn't do that anymore. FPS and performance is inconsistent. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I've had problems where I'm on performance mode, 60 FPS. Bro, I'm not gonna hold y'all, my PC is kind of beefy. I could run performance mode, say the world, with like 240 frames easily. I can't do that in this update. I could barely run 60 right now, and I think that's a bug. So I'm putting that in this video because I've also heard people say something about that as well. At first I was like, no, my performance is fine, and then I played for myself when I got off work, and I also started lagging. So I'm gonna assume that that's a bug and then chop it up to that. And then, not to mention, the new guns that came out, they're not even gold. Like the guns that you get from the missions that you have to do, and then those are a pain in the ass, to be honest, because you gotta kill like 54 zombie chickens, which is ridiculous because that took me 3 missions, and you can only do it in ventures. So you know how long that took? In ventures, you have to have a dedicated loadout in order for you to speed through missions, and even then it's kind of difficult because you might not have all the resources you need to trap a mission efficiently. You'll go into a mission and you might not even have everything that you need, and then the guns aren't good, so that doesn't help if your loadout, if you don't have good loadouts. It just took forever. That's all I'm basically saying, and I feel like that it's just tedious. It's tedious. To top it all off, the guns that you're getting, right, they're purple, so you have to flux them if you want to use them properly, because of course nobody wants a purple copy of these guns, and they're especially not gonna want it since they're not that good. The only good one is the SMG. Honestly, the AR is kind of mid because it does nothing for you. Like the single target damage isn't even that good. It can't really deal with smashers. It can't really deal with mist monsters efficiently. Hi, editing bond here. Nah, but editing Hulu here. And to honestly top this weapon all off, there's no viable gimmicks like AoE damage or explosion, anything like that. And of course, you're not really expecting that from an AR, but considering that the rest of the gun is not really something that you could use towards bigger targets, you can't really use them for smaller targets either, because it doesn't have anything to help you take out multiple of those at the same time. And the clip is only 16. It's only 16 bullets in the clip. It's like 16 or 18. It's one of them, and that's not even... And to top it all off, the 6 perks don't work because the weapons are kind of bugged right now. Only one of them works, and that one is bugged so much to holy hell, the one that does work, that they're gonna fix it by the time they fix all the other bug 6 perks, so it won't even be viable anymore. And even then, the SMG is not really that good because the cooling rate, or the fire rate, it's too fast. Meaning, like, if I'm spraying the gun, apparently you have like 42 taps of it before it has to cool down. And I feel like it's too fast considering the fire rate. The cooling rate or the fire rate is a little too fast. Like, it has to cool down more than you're shooting, to be honest, because the fire rate is so fast, but the cooling rate is so, like, you have to cool down so quickly that I just feel like it's not viable. It's gonna take, like, there's other SMGs that don't have a cooling rate, that don't take energy cells, goddamn, that don't take energy cells to just kill one type of zombie. Like, that's ridiculous. And then the last weapon that honestly made me make this video is the Plasmatic Discharger, which is not even arguable. It is the best weapon out of the set, and it's a really good weapon, but that gun, the literal saving grace for this update, because everybody was hyped about this goddamn gun, the perks don't work. So basically, we out here, a buggy ass update for one. Literally everything is bugged. Nothing is really working correctly. And then the saving grace for this update, you know what I'm saying? The gun that's gonna save us from all this terribleness out of this update. That gun don't even work and it's bugged. The perks, like none of the perks work. Hi, editing Hulu here again. They're probably gonna end up nerfing this gun too, because when you shoot it at builds, for one, it lasts way too long, and I think that's not intentional because it ends up lasting way longer than it's supposed to. I think that's because of the coding that they put in there or something. Like, I think they pulled this directly from Battle Royale. It's supposed to be destroying builds, but because it's not destroying the player builds, it'll last longer than it's supposed to. So they're probably going to end up patching it. And then another thing is they're probably going to end up nerfing the damage, because if damage perks don't work, then the damage is already crazy right now as is. They're probably going to end up nerfing the damage to justify them having damage perks on the gun in the first place. And I think the last thing is there is no reload speed. Like, there is reload perks and stuff don't work, and it also does not have a weapon category. I know it's a lot. It's a lot that doesn't work with this gun, but even despite all that, this gun still slaps. The only thing that works is the 6 perk, and like I said, the 6 perks are bugged, so only one of them is really viable, but that one is bugged to high hell already that they're gonna end up patching it by the time they fix the other ones, and it won't even be viable anymore. But don't get me wrong though, this gun is still pretty goddamn good. Like, I don't know if you can see it in the gameplay. I'm trying to like shed some light on it. Even though I'm in the 116 zone, it's still it's doing its justice. You know what I'm saying? It's not bad at all. Like, even with no damage perks, apparently the damage perks might not even work. But I'm not too sure about that. I know you can buff it with coconuts and stuff, so I think the damage perks probably work, but just not crit rating and crit damage. But even with the perks not working, the gun is still good. So honestly, the saving grace of this update is pretty much still the saving grace of this update. The gun is really goddamn cool. Not only does it feel cool and it's like unique to use, it also looks unique and it's cool as well. Like, the plasma ball that comes out of it, that shit is cool as hell. I might gotta crank up my settings and just see what it looks like on different settings, like when I got my game cranked up to max. But I don't know if I could do that during this update because performance seems to be bugged right now. But then again, I'm not too sure about that. It might be different for other people. I think the main thing I'm trying to get at in this video is I hate that Epic doesn't really care about Save the World. So when they do add stuff isn't as complete as it should be. All in all though, I feel like what this update brings, although it has its drawbacks, which is basically in the form of bugs, and although I'm complaining about it, it's honestly just nitpicking because this update kind of brings a lot more excitement back into Save the World. Eventually the weapons are going to be fixed and we'll be left with what it is, which is basically new weapons, new content for Save the World. So there's really no reason to be upset. I don't even think the weapons in their own right are bad. I just believe that they're quirky. So it seems to be something that's easy to nitpick, but to be honest, it's just a part of how the weapons are designed, and it may be very, very difficult to code, and I can honestly resonate with that because making games, especially from a big company standpoint, might be difficult and it might be really, really time consuming. And then considering that Save the World is on a back burner and everybody knows that, I think that whatever update comes out, we should just be okay with it and then just try and find some good things about it. I feel like people already do that now, but I haven't even talked about the railgun, and I've seen the railgun used in Ventures, and it doesn't even sound like how it does in Battle Royale, and I don't know, that don't sit right with me. The version in Battle Royale, that thing sounds so intimidating, and when I had first started using it, I was like, damn, that shit probably go crazy. I normally play with my sound off, so I was like, dang, bro, I'm really railing these zombies, like, no lie. But then I had to turn my sound on because I was like, yo, does it even sound like how it does in Battle Royale? And I turned my sound up and then I listened to it and I'm like, it didn't have the same sound that it does in Battle Royale, and I was so upset, bro. I was like, dang, Epic, y'all need to tee the fuck up, bro. Y'all missed a good opportunity with that one. I think that's all this is, honestly, just me being a little disappointed, and it's not justified. I know it's not justified, but I'm just here to just say what everybody's realistically thinking, but they just don't want to say because they know it's not right. Like, these guns aren't really, they're not what they're hyped up to be, except for one of them, and to be honest, that one is bugged right now. So it's just, we gotta wait until they fix that, and it might take a little bit, but they'll get to it eventually. They'll get to it eventually, and the guns will be operating how they supposed to, and they might not be what we want them to be, but honestly, new content in STW is new content. I can't even be mad at it, to be honest. I could be upset, but just not mad at it, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, if you really think you could do better, you can always just decide to become a game developer.